Hi there, this is John Barton from JB Cases. Alright, so once again, I'm going to try to explain the difference between perception and hit. For those of the CTE critics out there, this is another video about centered edge aiming. Not going to bother to go through all the definitions of what centered edge is. Okay, I'm sure many of you who followed this conversation, you're fully aware of where that's at. So, first thing we need to talk about is what is the angle of a shot anyway. So here I've mapped out, everything from a straight in shot right here at 0 degrees to a 75 degrees right here, 60 degrees, 45 degrees, 30 degrees, 15 degree hit, and then we get over here and it goes to 90 degrees because the angle here does this. Now, I need to explain something here. These degrees that I'm telling you are the degrees from the perspective of the person shooting the shot, not from inside this angle over here, okay, or outside of it, the obtuse side of it. Because really what it would be is if this is 90 degrees, then this angle would actually be 105 degrees instead of 15 degrees. The 15 degrees off of 90, and then this angle would actually be 120 degrees if you were doing it the right way. But we're in pool, you kind of talk about it backwards in terms of this is a 90 degree cut, this is a 0 degree cut right here, and then everything in between is different. Or you could go the other way with it. You could say, for example, that this is a 15 degree cut, right? This is then, a 30 degree cut, and so on. So we could go that way with it. It doesn't really matter. The point of it is that for each of these cuts, the actual hit on the cue ball will have a certain fraction. The actual hit when the cue ball and the object ball meet, from the perspective standing directly behind this, the actual hit will cover a certain percentage of the ball, perceptually. Okay? When the balls actually meet, right here, when they actually meet, they will be to each other, they will be at 0 degrees. Always, right? Because a line right through the pocket, makes 0 degrees. But from a perception, from the shooter's perception, wherever he is standing, that actual cut, that actual shot line that needs to be there, that's going to have a certain coverage of the ball. That's what the fraction is for. So, for example, if you say a half ball hit, okay, which would be about right here, 30 degree, a half ball hit would mean that I could literally aim the center of this ball to the edge of this ball, and the edge of this ball to the center of this ball, forming an absolute half ball hit, which will send the object ball right down the line to pocket it. Then if I move over, let's say I move over here, right? Now I've got what looks like a quarter ball hit, okay? So for this shot, it would need to be if I send it down a quarter ball, so this edge of this ball to 1/4 here is going to send that directly down the line. Now if I move over again, it looks to me like I've got maybe an 1/8 of a ball hit. If I get over here, gosh, I don't know, if I had to guess, maybe a 1/16. I don't know. And then over here, it looks like a paper's edge. I don't even know how to call that. A 0 degree hit, I guess, to make a 90 degree cut. Those are the actual fractions for each of these angles right here that the ball would have to hit the object ball in order to send it down the line. Okay, now the problem with this is that when these balls are placed on the table, they're not exactly at any of these actual fractions. Not always. I mean, once in a while, they are if they're a certain placement, but most of the time they're not. If you have a 30 degree cut, it's not, if you have what looks like a 30 degree cut, where it would be a 30-degree hit, it's not actually 30 degrees. It could be 31 degrees, it could be 32, it could be 29.2, you know, anything in there. So the difference in center to edge aiming, alignment, as opposed to the actual hit of the ball, okay? The actual perception from standing behind here for the actual hit is different. So, for example, if I were looking at one, let's pick a shot, okay? Here, let's take this one right here. This is a 45-degree angle to the shot, right? So, basically, if I'm looking at this, I can use center to edge and edge to B, which is a 30-degree perception. It's a 30-degree perception at the moment that I'm looking at this. So I'm projecting the lines. This line goes to the half of the ball here. The center of this one goes past the edge here. That perception, that 30-degree perception, puts me right here. Now, what's a 45-degree perception look like? That's going to be to the C point on the object ball. So center to edge, edge to C. So it puts me right here in relation to that ball. Now, if I go from here and I go down to the shot, so if I go down to the shot here, there's no way I can make that ball from there. It's not possible. But you'll notice the 30-degree perception puts me right here. Okay, now I want to show you something. I'm going to look right down at the table, right like my nose right here, and I'm going to take two eyeballs here. I'm going to take two eyeballs and I'm going to put them right here on the rail using my right arm pointing right in the middle of those balls, okay? So, right in the middle of those eyeballs. That's a 30-degree perception. So right now I'm using this ball. I'm using this ball right here to form a 30-degree perception. That's center to edge, edge to B, which is the middle of the object ball, to get myself in line. Now I'm going to take my right arm. I'll do it like this with both my hands, and I'm going to point right out here to the center of those eyeballs. Okay? So that's where I'm at. That's my body position right now. Now I'm going to move to a 45-degree perception. That is center to edge. So I still see the center to edge line, but now I'm moving to where I see edge to C, which is going to be the right quarter of the object ball. Got it. Now I'm going to go down and put my hands down again, and I'm going to take some eyeballs here, not moving my feet. I'm going to take some eyeballs and put them down right where my hands are coming down. Okay, so you'll notice here, I think that's about right, maybe a little bit more this way. Now, you'll notice those two perceptions have moved my body slightly to the left, right there. Okay, now let's go to the other perception, which is going to be the 15-degree perception or visual, okay? Again, center to edge. And now I'm going edge to A, which is this edge of the ball to the left quarter of the 15. Center to edge and edge to A. Okay, I got it. Now, I'm going to put my hands down exactly where that is. Take two more eyeballs. Okay. It's going to be right about there. Okay. So, as you can see, three different perceptions, three different body positions behind the cue ball, but yet those body positions are very, very close together, right? It's not like I'm moving here and everywhere in there. No, it's a very slight tilt like this, But all three of those work to look at the ball. Now, the only one that actually works to make this ball, to get in the right shot line, is the 30-degree perception. Now, the 30-degree perception, however, does not produce a 30-degree hit or overlap on the ball. Okay, so look. This is the actual hit from this line right there. And that is about a quarter ball hit right there. That's what that would produce to make that shot. So, now the question is, well, what happens if I marked out all these lines. Let's put one in between. What do we have there? Well, as I stand behind it right here, now the hit looks fuller on there. So it looks like maybe like 2/3 of the ball or 1/3 of the ball. So it's like a 1/3 ball hit right there. But now let's look at the perception line that makes this shot. So center to edge, edge to B, center to edge. Right, that's the one I need. So you'll notice that edge to B, the 30-degree perception still makes this shot. Now I'm going to put my eyes down right there so you'll see where I'm at. Okay, so that's where I'm at, 30-degree perception. So you'll notice that when the cue ball is here, a 30-degree perception works even though it's not going to be a half ball hit, okay? Here, a 30-degree perception works even though it's not going to be a half ball hit, okay? So folks need to understand the difference between the perception of the ball-to-ball aiming as pertains to CTE and the actual hit of the ball. Now, I'll explain that. I'm going to move these real quick, and I'm going to explain what that is, okay? So, let's find one of these that looks like a half ball hit, okay? So I believe it's this one, which is like a 30-degree shot. Okay, this is a half ball hit right here. So in order to make this shot, since I have it marked out, all I actually have to do here to make this shot is aim the center of the cue ball right to the edge of the 15 and the edge of the cue ball to the middle of the 15. All I have to do is do that, lay my cue down straight, and shoot the shot. That is what is called a half ball hit. But now, let's look at what perception gets me there. For this particular shot, center to edge, edge to C, which is a 30-degree, edge to C, which is a 30-degree or a 15-degree perception. Okay, so 15-degree perception, edge to C, come in, pivot to center, and where am I at? I'm right there at my half ball hit. The same hit that I get when I've marked out everything. But the power of the CTE system is you don't have to worry about the actual angle of the shot. So the question was, how is it possible to move the cue ball to different positions and use the same perception to get to the shot line? The reason that works is because every single shot is its own task. So therefore, when you have any angle in between here anywhere, the same perception is going to work to get you there. So center to edge, edge to A, come in, pivot, and I'm right there where the ghost ball is. So the question is, scientifically, how does that work? Okay, I'll show you. When I'm standing behind this ball right here, and I go center to edge, my perception of the shot is full. So even though I'm measuring the center of this ball to the edge of this ball, the perception of it still gives me a full look at the ball. I can't move anywhere else. The cue ball is in a fixed position. So in order to even address this ball anywhere in the direction of the pocket, I have to start here. So I can't start anywhere else. The pocket is fixed.